is probably one of my favorite podcasts so far. It's very funny.
It's like, because my grandpa, before he died, he was like, he had not full, but he had a lot of hair still. I was like, I'm looking forward to that, right?
Awesome, man.
And we'll see. One day.
Still can't get the beards like us, though.
No, that part cannot do.
Nope.
But no, hey, there we are. We're on. Welcome back to the OTR podcast, episode 30.
Is it 30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Aiden was 29, Aiden and Justin.
Okay.
So we got a special guest for episode 30. I'm going to let Trevor do this one because this is your buddy.
Man, I'm always terrible at doing these, but I got my buddy Kendell Kane here, or Morgan Kendell Kane, either one. You were a Marine for 8 years?
Make sure you're doing the shoulder
lean. I was thinking
lean.
it was like 10 or 12. I couldn't remember.
Shoulder lean, Trevor. You got to get in that mic.
Oh, yeah. I forgot shoulder lean.
Yeah.
You were in the Marines for 8 years, and then now you've had a CrossFit gym for...
So I don't own it. I just am the general manager.
But
yeah, for 7 years in February.
7 years in February.
6 years in February.
So you got that right after, or you started doing that right after you got out of the Marines, right?
Yep.
And just, it's been slowly building the whole time?
Yeah, man. Just been year over year, just making a full-time career out of that.
When did you start competing for CrossFit?
I wouldn't call what I do competing. It's recreational fit.
You still go to
fun fitness for time.
You still go to competitions.
I would say my first one was like 2 or 3 months after I started at CrossFit Contour, but like it's still like I don't want to confuse what I do with what is the games level. Like that is.
I know
that's a whole nother
like for the YouTube people seeing like this is like belly button is where I am. The top of my head is the CrossFit Games, like not even on the screen.
Okay, but down at like your feet or where like average folks are.
Well, that's where you're at because I was listening to your back squat thing from the episode, but with 50%, I'm like, you did like 80 reps, man. What's the big deal?
He's getting tired.
Yeah,
he's burning out.
My wind was going.
I knew it was getting bad because he's like, you good over there? And I kind of looked at him like, you're not? Like he didn't act like he wasn't good, but I was like,
I haven't been doing reps, man. I've been just putting on more weight.
Well, I've seen you in RJ's post.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He always makes me look bad.
Well, he makes everyone look bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was trying to be like nice to me the other day when I hit that 320.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, dude, he said, you're only like 205 pounds away from like my close grip. I said,
only.
I said, fuck
only
you.
205 pounds.
It's just a quick 2.
Yeah.
No.
I said, fuck off.
Yeah.
Well, before we do get real deep into it, Britt, can we pull up the merch site? We got to plug merch every time now, just because we got it. Yesterday, me and Britt sat around, did some actual work outside of the podcast, and also we have our line down. I don't know if you saw that post on the Instagram page.
I did,
but we've got a little bit of a collection going. So quarter one, or well, I guess this would be the end of the. No, this is quarter one. Yeah, it's January. What am I thinking? We've got the Liftoff Collection, so this is just getting started here. There's those 6 items there you can pick from. We're going to get some designers on board, and we're actually going to do a collection every quarter. So every quarter, other than the OTR cast merch, which is just the logo stuff there, you're not going to be able to buy these after March, give or take, and there'll be a new collection. And that collection, the next one, it's going to stick with the theme. This is the Liftoff Collection. The next one's going to be the Orbit Collection, because we got into space. Now we're orbiting. Then after that, what do we have down? Something like
deep space.
We get there. It gets deep. It gets real deep. So I think after orbit is like solar system. I don't know what we called it. Something like that.
Like lunar landing or something.
That would be a cool one too.
Yeah.
And then
once we're like far out and we're by like Uranus.
Oh yeah, we'll be way past Uranus.
All these different like butt jokes on there.
No, but I think the solar system will be more planets and moon stuff. So that'll be like third quarter of this year. And then we're going to go interstellar for the final part of the year. So it's going to be stars and crazy shit and all that. Maybe some stuff from the movie. No, I probably can't do that. That's copywritten. Yeah. We'll make some knockoffs. After that, I think we went to like Galaxy. So we're a little bigger, and we're just getting bigger every time. But then eventually, obviously, you hit universe and then multiverse. And then you can get real deep if you want to. But after that, I think we're going to go back So it's a 2-year thing we've already got planned out. So make sure you guys are at least looking at the merch. If you buy some early and this podcast blows up, you might be able to make some money off of it. So, if it gets real big, be like, hey, I got series 1. So
When he says we got this planned out, I think he's meaning them. Because I definitely had no idea about this other than...
I get the feeling, Trevor, you're just the trailer behind the truck.
I am.
You're just along for the ride.
yeah.
It's a good time.
Hey, that's why we have them though. I mean, it keeps it in that. Honestly, it's such a dynamic too, is like, other than just having me sit here with one person,
Yeah.
it makes it easier. And when we don't have a guest or something, we can still get on here and just bullshit around. So
Just look at the redneck. He'll tell you what to do.
Yeah, you said he was Southern on the New Year's pod. You are, I get it, you're from Cumberland, Ohio with your little cross tattoo, whatever. But you are Southern. You're like a transplanted Alabaman.
right, and it comes out a lot too when he's like trying to be funny.
Mhm.
He'll be like, "I told you when I was drinking with Aiden." And I'm like, Trevor, Theo Vaughn over here. What are
Dude,
you
I
doing?
told you the one day where I was trying to sound like Theo Vaughn, and when I listened back to it, I was like, that's a horrible rendition of like Theo Vaughn.
Oh no, I partake of the CrossFit occasionally.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think we're like? What do you think peak was? I feel like
I feel like
2018, 19 was like. I mean, obviously after COVID, but even before that, maybe.
so my gym 2020 was still our best
Really?
year over year.
Okay.
We did. I was just on a podcast with some gym management stuff
Mhm.
last week. We amortized our membership, and we still finished year over year better
More?
than 2019 with more money,
That's
more
impressive.
gross and net revenue. I don't think it's peaking. I think the games has peaked.
That's kind of what I was thinking more of, was
Yeah.
like the game side of it.
The games
as
has
far
peaked,
as
at least for now.
I think it'll be faddish. It'll come back and
Yeah.
up and down for sure. But I remember like I loved watching the games in like 16, 17.
I mean, I still like watching them, even though like
I do a little, but I feel like the like hype around it has died down a lot outside of the gym aspect. Like just the game side is pretty, like it's getting, I don't know. I want to see some new faces.
Yeah, that'd be
popping
cool
up.
too. Yeah, there have been a lot of people at the games level who've been there for like 10 years.
And that's impressive in
Yeah,
itself, right?
yeah. You think about like, they did what? And like, yeah, he did a 400-pound overhead squat. And you're like, okay, that's really heavy. And he's like, he's done that for the last 10 years. What?
Yeah, wait, hold on. Yeah, no, that's insane. I remember, I think, like Matt Frazier, obviously.
that was literally the person
I mean,
that like got me interested in it.
Right. I mean, I remember watching that before I even did CrossFit. My sister's kind of the one that got me into it. She went over here, and then I started going over there. That was when I started working out. And then now she doesn't go there anymore. And that was really like one of the only reasons I went. So, now I've got Trevor. We work out all the time, and I'll go over there occasionally, like usually for the bigger workouts like Murph and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't
Trevor's
know.
done Murph a couple of times.
I
Didn't
like-
die.
Oh, I love it. Murph is so much fun, even though like I feel like I'm about to die every time. I still like going and doing it. Like it is a lot of fun, especially just being around all those people doing it.
Oh, yeah.
We do one heat.
Really?
So we get like, there's 100 people in there. It's just utter chaos.
Oh, I forget. Well, did I send you Murph this year? I think I knocked off like 10 minutes,
Wow.
Oh
Or something.
yeah, you did.
which, I mean, the first one I did 2019. I didn't do 20. And then I went back this year, like in the middle of what we were doing, just because I was like, yeah, I like doing Murph. So it was a good chunk, I think. So
Good
next
time.
year, I think I'm going to go for under an hour. I think I was at an hour 5 or something this year.
I don't even remember what I hit, but I'm sure it probably wasn't faster than yours.
Well, if it was anything like them squats.
I've just got no wind, but I'm spared.
I know.
parts when it
I
comes to wind.
think you would beat me if there wasn't. It's both miles, right? There's a mile at the
Yeah.
beginning and end.
Yeah.
I think without those, you'd get me in. You'd do me in because you'd have me on pull-ups for sure.
Pull-ups aren't even the worst part for me. It's literally the fucking runs. Like
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, I remember this year you're wearing like your vest and you had it like kind of like part way off. You
Oh
were
yeah, I
like-
was pushing on it.
yeah. You were like, "Come on,
I hate
Trev," and
when
I was like,
Bouncing.
"Right.
Right.
I'm not even wearing a vest. I'm just dying."
Yeah.
One of the young kids that I knew that was there, I think it was Brady Ladd, if I remember right. He was keeping pace with me and somebody else, and he was like, "You guys okay?" and we're just dying because like the other guy that was with me didn't run either. And he goes, all right, well, hey, I'm gonna speed up a little bit. And we're like, all right, bye. Like, we're just gonna stay right here.
Oh, that's my favorite part about like planning your own workout, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like as you're getting into it, because I love like watching people like just start off just super hot. I'll do it sometimes, but like they'll like take off running, and I'm not a like miler, you know, like that's not me, and they'll be like 2 minutes ahead, and then we'll get to the actual, I call it the actual workout, and I'm like, here we go. Like it's done, it's over.
I mean, any of your listeners who don't know, it's 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and like there's just squats, right? And that's now you hear that and you're like, oh, that's not that bad, but
it's horrible.
Yeah,
it's real bad.
Weight vest.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. Is it RX weight vest, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's what, 20
pounds for guys, 14 for girls.
Oh, that's rough. I think I did the whole weight vest this year. Yeah, I think the first year I took it off in the pull-ups. I was like, this ain't happening. Yeah.
See, I haven't done it with a weight vest yet.
Oh, 2022.
This is your year.
This is the year Trevor gets the T-Rex arms. Looks like this, just for like the next week after he's in here. He's like trying to hit the speaker away.
That's awful, man. After that, oh, you're dead. The push-ups, I think this year, I think I'm going to do better because we've been working a lot on chest.
Mm-hmm.
I think the push-ups this year will be a lot easier. So we'll see. I'm actually excited for it. Usually I'm not excited for workouts, but
just got you ready for everything you want to possibly do.
Hey, like the kids at the gym said, I'm just a CrossFit snob, or what they say.
What?
After we did that like squat workout, there's these like, I don't know,
they're like high school kids.
Yeah, like 16, 18, somewhere around there. Well, they'll kind of like gravitate around us while we're doing stuff, and they were asking us the one day about that workout, and they were like, yeah, not even joking, like we thought you were just like one of those like, what, I don't remember what they called it.
CrossFit something. Yeah,
it was something
like snob or something.
Yeah, right.
And he just started laughing. I laughed super hard because I knew he had mostly just done CrossFit before that.
Yeah.
But just to think like that was the immediate thought they had of him, like, he's just one of those CrossFit people. And I was like,
if you're not taking a 10-minute break between sets, are you really working out, or you must be doing CrossFit?
Well, it was funny because like he came up to me and he's like, dude, right here, you're actually pretty cool. And I'm like, you never, like, what do you mean I'm actually pretty cool? He's like, I just thought you were like one of those CrossFit snobs. I'm like, I mean, I was.
This kid actually is really awkward when he comes to talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, he'll sit there and, I've talked about it before, he'll watch you and wait for you to be, like, done doing something. Or he'll just start asking you questions during, which, like, I've been benching before, and then he'll start asking me a question about.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's
awesome.
Yeah. And so I'll just finally, like, rack it and take a headphone out. I'm like, what'd you just say to me? And he'll ask me again. I'm like, text me or something, DM me. Like, ask me some other
I ain't got time for this.
Yeah, ask me some other time.
All right. You're getting ready. The timer's counting down from 10. What song you want playing when you get started with a WOD?
When I get started with one?
Either of you.
Just starting the workout.
Just getting going. Like you
got
like
it. Done.
What is it?
New Noise by Refused. It's that song, Friday Night Lights, like they're getting ready to go play the big Texas team, like that song. I get goosebumps right now, like that's the song.
I think it's called Demolisher.
That's well over 10 seconds.
I'm trying to find it on here. It's Demolisher by Slaughter to Prevail.
All right.
And the guy I think is like German or Russian, and when he goes into like the actual like scream part of it, he's only speaking in like Russian.
So you have no idea what he's talking about.
No, but God, it sounds like a demon is talking to me, and I'm like, all right. That or like Someone Like You by Adele.
Gosh, I can't. I don't know how you do that, man.
What about
I can't.
You, Caleb? What's your song?
I don't have a specific one, but it's definitely genre-wise. I think I would have to go something like G-Eazy. Like, I don't know why. Like, for some reason in the gym, like, just some sort of like swagger gets me going, you know? Like, maybe like Instructions. That's
kind of
a
like
good one.
Feeling Yourself, you know?
Yeah, like holy shit, you know? Like, I like the rage stuff doesn't get me like certain rap shit does, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's why, like in that, like in the gym over here, they play a lot of like metal, and then sometimes in mornings we'll have there'll be a lot of country people in there, and they'll start playing country. I'm like, I can do this, but this ain't my tempo.
I told him about one of the days where I was going and lifting over at Muskingum, and we were, in their weight room, and there's like probably football players and wrestlers and stuff in there. And my buddy Justin was lifting with me.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Hey, do you want the aux?"
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, sure." So I go grab the aux and put my phone in it. And I cued like the next song it was going to play, which was like when I was probably going to be up,
Yeah.
was Someone Like You by Adele. So it's like, it's playing all rock music, like we're, AC/DC or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I go to start, and then it just starts into it. And you just hear like everybody kind of quit whatever they were doing. And they're like just staring around, like trying to find the speakers basically.
Put this shit on.
Yeah. Then it's just me like squatting or something. And I get done. I'm like, someone like you.
No, I always thought it would be cool. We talked about this at the gym. I don't know how you would do it, but like there's some money to be made. You know how they have like the jukeboxes at the bars?
Yeah.
They did something like that with the gym, but like you'd have to limit it because otherwise someone would just go in and like play like their whole playlist.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
I think you could do that at like a conventional gym. I feel like you could definitely.
Right.
CrossFit, I feel like
Be a little different.
What members pay, like people be like, "You want me to pay for this?" too?"
Right, but like just like a normal gym, like
Yeah.
like just where you're going in. I think people
You
would
should
pay for it.
not have said that. I would
Well.
edit that out.
This isn't early. We're still early. We don't have that many viewers yet, so
Well,
they'll come back. There'll be a guy like 30 episodes from now, be like, "Hey, you remember that thing you said?"
something I had the other day, a girl brought up why CrossFit gyms are always like more expensive on their membership
Yeah.
than like just like say Cambridge Fitness Center or Anytime or one of those. And I said the exact same thing you said to me when I asked you about like the differences between your guys' gym and just a regular one before I ever did CrossFit with you.
I don't remember
And
what that I said, but go
You
ahead.
said, well, you got to think you're going to have a coach that's there
Oh, yeah.
all the time, that's gonna
Programming
be-
and-
Yeah.
programming and telling you like what you're doing wrong, or like how to scale this back for someone who like can't do something right,
Mhm.
or something along these lines. A regular gym, they're not going to get anything like that at all.
Right.
So like you're paying for that coach to be there
Mhm.
and to actually get instruction. You're not just paying for just a gym by itself.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not paying for access to equipment.
Yeah.
Like you're,
And some of them offer like nutrition, and it is the atmosphere too, right? Like,
Yeah.
like there's classes,
Mhm.
so there's going to be like, usually whatever class you typically go to, your group's probably going to be there. You're going to know people, and it pushes you too. Like instead, you can have like me and Trevor go to the gym. Trevor can be like, lift that, and I'm like, okay. But then like, and then if you go like over there and you're like standing next to someone, you're like, I could probably beat their ass. So.
Well, I definitely remember when I went to Contour that there was like a specific group in it, like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, whatever it was, I went to all the time. And I was like, all right, I know like Scott's going to be there. I know Tyler's going to be there, and like a couple other people. And I was like, all right, so I got some people I can talk shit to. I got some people who are going to talk shit back at me. And then when I can't do something, it's probably going to be Kendell coaching, so he'll make fun of me until I actually just go and do it.
Yeah. My favorite thing to say is when somebody misses a clean, I'm like, that's a great deadlift. Or if they're jumping rope and they trip on them, like you're supposed to jump over it.
Oh gosh. How do like when you get new members,
Mm-hmm.
what do you find? I mean, like to me, like double unders and stuff, it's like riding a bicycle. Like once you get it, you get it.
Yeah.
Like what are some of the harder like movements people take a longer time to learn?
I think it really comes back to like what their background is.
Mm.
Like I've met some people who, I mean, they've been coming for 5 or 6 years and they still like can't kick up into a handstand along the wall.
Mm.
And it's not because they don't have the ability. They just like, part of it's like that courage to get upside down.
Right.
And then some people, I think, like even though it's part of the program, like let's say a muscle up, like they gotta have to want to do that. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can do pull-ups and toes to bar, so cool, you've got it. But if you don't want to go do a muscle up because it scares you, you're not going to get it. So you might swing around on the rings for a little bit, but you really don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ring muscle up scare. I have like this shoulder sucks. So like that like movement, like not being real loose, I don't like doing them, but like bar muscle ups I'm okay with.
I liked the rings way more than
Really?
the bar. Oh yeah, still do.
What do you think's easier?
Ring.
Really?
Yeah, I agree. Because the ring, I can move the rings around my body.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
I got to be stronger, but you can move
Yeah.
it around.
like I was actually able to do a muscle up on rings. I still can't do like an actual like.
You did one, didn't you, over there?
It was an ugly son of a bitch.
You
though.
had
Oh, you
one.
finally got one.
He did one arm.
like
Oh.
I chicken winged, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh man.
and then had to like get the other arm over.
Ooh.
Yeah, it still wasn't good. Like it was
I'm
a
gonna
bad
text
one.
RJ and say, "Hey, do a muscle up real quick."
His big ass can't.
Bet.
I will
Have you
bet.
seen Martins Lisi do a muscle up?
Yeah,
Isn't that wild?
that man is
Oh,
crazy.
If he can do as much tricep stuff as RJ does, all right. Well, we heard it here first. We're gonna get check
let's
RJ
clip it.
Butcher's
Clip it.
Facebook page
Clip
or
it, then we'll
Instagram.
tag him in it on Insta and be like, "All right, bitch."
I know he can.
Called out.
You're gonna fly right up there, and you're gonna be. It's your words.
That's fine. I call him fat all the time.
Brave.
You should see.
Brave.
I commented on his post the other night of like him flexing or something like that, and like it was a mirror post. you know? And so I commented like, "Guys, don't be fooled by this. He's airbrushing the muscle look on, or airbrushing the shadowing, and using a funhouse mirror. He's really only 160 pounds." And he commented back and said like, "Bro, quit telling all my secrets," or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not an earthquake. It's just a train.
Yeah. I saw that. Like, this is like to me like the cool area of Cambridge.
It is, and we're trying to make it cool. Like this used to not have it. There used to be nothing down here.
Really?
Like once they put the CrossFit gym over here, you know, it's kind of a little more like not hipstery, but hipstery.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like a younger group of people, and so we're trying. I mean, we're gonna put an ice rink in the lawn over here
Oh,
next
really?
year.
Cool.
Pretty certain. I mean, I'm not gonna 100% it, but we're about 90% right now.
There you go.
But so we're trying to make this kind of you know how like industrial areas and cities are starting to be more like of a thing again, but like not like industry.
Is there a brewery going in?
There is.
Yep.
Not
We're
here
done.
though,
We're settled in.
unfortunately.
Oh, not on this side.
It's that way,
Oh.
but it's like out in the country, which I don't know. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try the brewery, but it's on whatever this road is that goes out towards the Living Word up here. I don't know. It's down that road a little, but it's this way technically. Yeah, but like the upside of town, you know, it's still those like established businesses.
Yeah.
This is going to be more of like the new stuff coming in. So I'm glad we're down here.
I'm really glad I didn't park closer to the tracks now.
One time I woke up. Did I tell you that story?
You did.
This was in my dark ages. That's what I like to call them. I woke up.
So is that 2021? Because I
Yeah.
listened to that podcast.
Yeah.
He was like an alcoholic.
I don't know what
for a bit
happened, but
Very
it sounds-
alcoholic.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I woke up at like 5 a.m. in my car still, and my car was parked like over here, probably like this far from the tracks.
Oh, man.
Like it wouldn't have got hit, but it would have been very close. I woke up, I was like, what are you doing? Like, oh, that was rough. Well, we're 30 minutes in, and Britt's here today. She doesn't have a camera, unfortunately. We had to plug some different stuff in, but she's here in spirit. You got a video pulled up? Is that right?
Oh yeah. I was listening to Dave Tate's Table Talk.
Mm-hmm.
I've referenced one of his videos before. That's what we got the squat challenge thing from. The guy from Elite FTS. If you don't know who Dave Tate is, okay, just making sure.
Yep.
He was talking about James Harrison doing I think it's 545 bench,
Okay.
and he failed it. But the way that he failed it was like just crazy, because he brings it down to his chest and then like kind of just pushes it back down to his lap.
Nope.
And then just kind of like, what did Dave call it? I think he called it a kinetic clean or something off of his lap. So he literally just like grabs it and just tosses it. After he failed it, you know, like the bench press, he just got it there and
How
then
do you
went.
do that?
like that.
If you have the strength, you miss the bench press, but you have the strength to throw it off your leg.
Well, like I think he's.
Did you not try?
I think he's done.
We should ask him.
We're talking like the football player, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not asking that dude anything.
Former Steeler. I think he played for
That's a big
Patriots.
dude.
I think
Yeah.
too.
He's a real big dude.
Oh yeah, giant.
Yeah, you seen that video of him throwing the wall ball volleyball,
Yes.
like with like a 20-pound volleyball or 30-pound, like just throwing it like the whole court of
Really?
the whole
Oh yeah.
court of a
just grab
volleyball, just throwing 20 pounds.
him and like two other people, and they're just playing volleyball at this thing, tossing it back and forth.
You got that on there? Let's see this.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Lifting Vault. And today's video is a little different than our usual content. Because unlike most of the people that we talk about on this channel, today's athlete is not a powerlifter, but a 42-year-old former NFL player. And they are known for being the strongest people outside of strength sports. And on this recording, James Harrison was training bench. And he was feeling strong because a few weeks before this, he had failed a 233 kilo bench, but now he managed to finish 238. But after this he overestimated himself a little bit because he went for 247, and even though this is a big weight, he managed to do a graceful roll of shame with this, before violently throwing it off his lap. Thanks for watching everyone, that was it for today's video, I hope you enjoyed it.
He's filming that himself? Was there no one around?
Yeah. I guess the gym that he was at, he doesn't like people being there because, like, he'll scream and he'll play the music, like, blaring loud, so it's just him there. Oh, so, like, when he was sitting there doing this, he was just, like, listening to his music and, like, just going with it. And then they said, like, I guess at the end of the video, which the actual video, he, like, screams just, and just tosses it off.
Tosses 545.
Yeah. Like, I told Caleb, I was like, he literally grabs my max deadlift and just goes, like that. Like it's crazy, not there.
Crazy.
But I think he was doing like those, them hip thrusts, like the hip bridges. I think he did that with like 700 pounds one time for reps. So it doesn't like surprise me that he just tossed it off like it wasn't there. That's just a crazy strong human being.
It's disgusting. On the, what am I thinking? The sports side. Johnny Westfall, we had him on at some point, has a parlay going today. So, what was it? Jacksonville won, Pittsburgh won, and the final game of his parlay, if Bama wins tonight, that dude makes $55,000 off of a $1,000 bet. So we're gonna go watch that game of B-Dubs. It's gonna be the first game I'm like invested, not literally, but I'm gonna feel invested in a while. Like I don't care. Johnny Westfall, he has like a landscaping company.
No. What's the game?
Georgia, Bama. College football playoff. Yeah, it's like a big game. Does he
have the underdog?
No,
Georgia?
He has Alabama.
Oh. He's gonna make $55,000.
I know,
but Alabama has what, 3 losses already? 2 losses this year.
They're 13-1. I think both
Alabama.
of them.
No, I thought Bama just lost last week.
They'd be out of the playoffs. This is the championship game, I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong team.
Pro. Like, so pro bets.
Yeah, so it was a 3-way bet. So basically, Jacksonville had to win for Pittsburgh to even have a chance to play. So his bet was Jacksonville winning, then Pittsburgh even playing and winning.
And that happened. Like miraculously. And then the final part of it is Bama.
The big part was Jacksonville though, because they're what, 2-9 or something.
I think that was like $700 of the entire bet was the Jacksonville game.
That's crazy.
So that's hilarious. Like, cause that guy, I love that guy. He's wild. We started a new business, me and him. It's called Monumental Media.
Okay.
So we're gonna do like marketing, like in social media stuff.
Oh, cool.
Whereas this is more production side stuff. So that'll be interesting. We just got that launched at the beginning of this year. But he's a cool little dude. He's not a little dude. He's like 6'5", something like that.
So he gets that good oxygen.
Oh yeah. He gets the air we don't get to breathe.
Yeah.
He also gets all the farts.
That is also true.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Facts. Depends on how tall the ceilings are.
Yeah,
he's outdoors.
True. Yeah. I mean, he's in the clear, yeah.
He gets to smell them when they've dissipated a little more.
He's knowing when it rains first.
So what's on the lifting agenda this week?
For you?
Yeah,
me?
or both. Yeah, whatever.
For you, you're going to be hitting a heavy single for squat. And then we're going to have you doing 3x3 on deadlift.
Yeah.
It's going to be like your heaviest things.
I think we did
walk funny, man.
Oh, yeah.
I know, yeah.
He's going to have some shit leg days, I'll tell you that. Like, not going to want to get back up after he sits down.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. That's the good stuff, though.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're doing something right.
What are you going to squat, Caleb?
Not much.
For your heavy single?
285.
You're going to be around 255. You your max right now is 285. I'm not
Yeah.
having you hit your max.
That was my max 2 weeks ago. You wait.
Okay, well, that's not how it works. I think it's around 255.
Yeah. That
I have
makes
the
a
percent
little more
down, but I
sense.
can't remember exactly what it is off the top of my head.
I don't know.
It's
I got to get
255.
that over. I got to get 3 plates on there.
You'll get there eventually.
Where's that coming from? Just spilling all over me.
Condensation, man.
There we go. I got to be careful.
You squat 3 plates though. Those high school kids are going to be
Yeah.
Oh,
They're going to be like,
I saw a video the other day. This guy that is I think he's an Olympic weightlifting coach, but he used to do like football coaching or something before.
Mhm.
And he said, this is my high school kids, I don't know, biggest pet peeves. And he said, hey, coach, I'm going for my max. All right. And he gets under the back squat and he's got like 405 or something on it.
yeah.
And goes down like 3 inches.
Oh man.
And racks it. How does that not count? Dude, I was almost touching the ground. And
Yeah.
I was just dying because
Yeah.
I've seen the track kids that I had this year try to do the exact same thing. And I was like, nah,
No.
take them weights off. Take them weights off.
Yeah.
no, I think, yeah. And when we were in high school, we would just go in there and like add a bunch of weight on it, walk around a little bit, and then don't touch it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just you put like 4 plates on there, look at it, make sure people are looking at you. And then just be like, all right, we're done.
I've talked about it with other people. Like, can you imagine how strong we would be if we actually followed like at least in front of us, which granted
They weren't great, but
Yeah.
So I went to John Glenn. That was strength and conditioning. Like,
right.
yeah, I had a 405 back squat too when I was a senior with 3 inches of depth.
Yeah.
It was stupid. That's not a squat.
No.
And that's like one thing I do. Like when I started working out after college, I could not, like, just doing an air squat, like I could barely get below parallel. Like just like everything was tight.
Yeah.
And CrossFit did, like, I mean, now you see like where my depth is. Like I make sure all my squats are like at least
He does have great mobility.
Good for
Like
you, dude.
like that's the one thing I like pride myself on.
very
is being
rare
mobile.
if we had him doing like any higher squats. Like I would say just below parallel is probably the highest is what he normally goes to.
Mhm.
But like 99% of the squatting he does is all like absolute bottom depth of
Oh,
like
yeah. Good for you, dude. Keep doing that.
Honestly, yeah. Well, I was like, if I'm going to work on my squat, I don't want to sacrifice depth for weight,
Yeah.
you know, because then you're like, I did it, but then you're like, but that's not how that's not how I do it normally, you know? So I think just that slow build is going to be
But
good.
if we keep you at like good mobility, you're going to have a better carryover into like everything else rather than
Yeah.
if we let you do what I do, which is you're going for like the heaviest amount, but
Right.
you're sacrificing the rest of your mobility for it.
Mm-hmm. No, that is the, like, CrossFit will do that for you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just like if that's one thing you're looking for, like you're going to add some, you know, you're going to hit some PRs for sure.
Mhm.
But like just being mobile and being able to like move your body is like
Yeah.
a big part of it.
Well, I definitely had more mobility when I went to CrossFit Contour with you guys for, I don't know,
I
half a
remember
year or
Trevor's
something.
first like overhead squat. Like,
Well, dude,
this.
bad.
like holding the bar like
Super bad.
this. Like, is this good? No, it needs to like this.
Straight.
Arms are straight over your shoulders, like this, like this.
So when did Contour start?
So Caitlin Amicone of like the Field
Okay.
House started Contour in 2014.
Okay.
And then she went off she like kind of like through that discovered like chiropractic was more her calling.
Mhm.
So she went to chiropractic school just as I got out. So it really kind of aligned that I was looking for a job. I just got out of the Marine Corps.
Right.
Like, all right, hey, I've got 3 months, and then I stopped getting paid twice a month, like on the clock. So I found that just as she was leaving, and it's just kind of worked out so that I've been able to manage it for her in the Field House since.
Oh, that's cool. So
yeah.
the Field House too, then?
Yeah. So like I don't know, like you're more Cambridge folk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Field House is owned basically by the Amicones,
Okay.
which like there's a whole family, but they've also Caitlin came back from chiropractic. She's opened up a chiropractic office right next door to the CrossFit gym.
Mm-hmm.
The youngest son Matt has gone to PT school and opened up a physical therapy office right there. So it's like a one-stop shop. You've got those two
Right, you
indoor
got
soccer
everything
fields,
there.
baseball field, basketball, track, like sports, therapy, chiropractic, fitness, like
Hmm.
all of it.
Yeah, that's cool. I remember taking field. Did you take field trips there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took
Those
a
were
couple
fun.
there. It was like the tripway thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they'd take us there and like go
That
run
was-
around.
That was the
Yeah.
best time ever, dude. You got to go and
Play football,
Yeah.
play whatever you wanted. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one of the first years I went there, they still had like the indoor, I want to say it was like an indoor hockey or something. It was that very back room,
Yeah.
but we weren't allowed on there.
No.
So we still went back there anyway because, we were shitbird kids. And we started running around on the ice, and then somebody came back and yelled at us at work there because we weren't supposed to be in there.
Oh
Obviously.
yeah.
Was it
But-
real ice?
No, I think it was,
I don't remember.
I know what he's talking about. Like I only have vague memories of it. It was an indoor field by the time I got there.
That's what I thought.
And it's like so
'Cause there's like a
two
turf.
indoor soccer fields now.
Mhm.
I'm talking like elementary school. So, I mean, this was
okay.
like, greater than 10 years ago.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember like middle school ones.
Don't chuckle like that.
10 years. How old were you 10 years ago, Trevor?
I've been 13. So, I mean,
That's not elementary
Oh,
school.
man.
no, I said greater than 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
My back hurts all of a sudden.
I didn't want to think about like exactly how many years it would have been. I just said greater than 10. It is greater than 10 years ago.
It was more than a year ago.
Yeah.
You could have just
More
said
than a year ago.
that. No, Britt, you ever go to the field house?
No?
She said no. She said no for the audio listener.
You ought to go down to CrossFit Contour and do
We do
one of
week
their classes.
3. Good time. I'll make sure
you
you
and
can
your
walk
sister
away.
can go.
He definitely won't
Yeah,
you'll
won't
not
die.
kill you or anything like that. Like the first time I ever went there was, I think, my freshman year of college, I want to say.
But
And-
there was the second or third time you came, you brought your friend. Who was that?
Trey West.
Yeah, you guys murdered yourselves. I didn't partake in that. You two decided, we're going to do all 3 of these workouts. You got like 2 in, and you're like, I don't know, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Bye.
Well, you came up to us and you're like, hey, just letting you guys know, like, you don't have to stay for like this whole thing. Like, if you guys are ready to go, you guys can go. Like, it's fine. And we were like, yeah, we're going to leave. It was like, so we just rolled right out. Dude, we were like puking. Well, we went way too hard in the warm up because he said it, but, we didn't pay attention. So
Right.
we didn't know that was just the warm up. So me and him were just hammering through it. Like, we're
The warm-up.
busting through this warm up thinking like, dude, we're beating everybody's ass right now. Like, we're basically CrossFit athletes and we didn't even know it.
Meanwhile, everyone else just like doing like good mornings with the bar.
Yeah,
and you're
everybody's
like,
just like doing.
you're like,
you
I'm
know,
gonna put plates on.
yeah, they're doing like the prescribed amount, and like just going nice and easy the whole way through. But then me and Trey are sitting there like we're games athletes and we can do it. And then he goes, "All right, warm up's done. Here's the WOD," and we were like, "What the fuck?" I wish we'd have had like the soundbite of, and here's the moment where they knew they
Yeah,
fucked
yeah.
up.
No, I think the one day I went, the first day, it was I forget which one, but it was a hero WOD,
Oh, no.
and it wasn't like an easy. Like it was like, ugh. And they were like, it gets easier. I'm like, I hope. I'm like, I'm dead. But I do remember it was like the worst. I picked like the worst possible day. Not literally, but like at that time, like when you're not doing nothing,
Mhm.
you're like, this is bad. This is real bad.
I remember one of the hero WODs we had. It was when it was starting to get colder outside. We were finding like, I want to say it was a clean and jerk, 5 rep max or something like
Okay.
that. And then we were supposed to take that. And it was based off that percentage is what we were going to have for the like mile walk that we had with the bar on our back.
Oh, that wasn't a hero workout. That's just me.
Oh, okay. That was just
That's
you.
just me making sure that your midline,
Yeah.
your core muscles are going to be at pristine physical shape.
Well, they were at that point in time because I think I walked out there with 185, and the tattooed guy, I can never remember his name. He went to all the weightlifting. Trying to think of his name. Short black hair.
Oh, Blaine?
Blaine, yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember his name. I think he had like 155 or something. He was
Yeah.
like, "You sure you want to go out there with that much?" And I was like, "That's what the percentage said." And he goes, "Dude, just do less." And I was like, "I think I'm going to." I said, "I'll probably like I probably just like take some off. So I put like 10s and 5s on instead. And yeah, we got like 2 laps in, and I probably dropped that bar like 30 times. And you said, "Hey, you gonna bring it down, honey?" I was like, "Yep." And I'm railing some off, and then Tarna pulls up in her car, and she's like, "What are you doing? Are you quitting?" I was like, "No." Then she started messing with me about it, so then I had to throw it back up there, and now I'm like speed walking, have it like loaded wrong. Like I think I had like a 10 and a 5 on one side, and like nothing on that side, like just
a mess.
Oh yeah,
normal Trevor.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's how it was in those mornings, man.
I feel like that's how you are right now.
Yeah,
he's always a mess.
A gas can, dude.
Yeah.
Hey! Don't be making fun of Gerald.
One thing I think you might be able to talk about too is the like outside of the workout side of CrossFit, the community side. I mean, you do like build a lot of relationships from it. Yeah. And I know there's probably people that just like, there's a lot of gym people that listen to this, but if you want, try to pitch to them a little bit like that side. Cause I know even over here, like we'll have like Christmas parties and all that stuff. What kind of stuff do you guys do outside of the workouts?
Yeah. So it's funny you bring up the Christmas party. We did our Christmas party, and it's like one of those moments where I just kind of sit, like I'm watching everybody, and I was reflecting. I remember thinking like, man, how cool is it that so-and-so is sitting with so-and-so who outside of had there never been CrossFit Contour. These two people would have never in a million years would they be sitting down at the same table, talking, having a good time, hanging out. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things that we do to kind of drive our community is we'll do kind of like quarterly events. Yeah. So we do a WOD and wine night, so ladies only. It's just WOD, it's a workout and then hang out, have a drink. Mm-hmm. Try to make sure that one of our female coaches coaches that, because it's a little awkward if I'm hanging out. There's a bunch of like women getting like they're already dehydrated from a workout, and now they start drinking a little bit, and I don't want to be there. We do barbell cartel guys night, so kind of exact same premise but flipped. I do go to that one.
You guys are drinking bourbon at that one, ain't you?
I have drank bourbon. I was drinking bourbon at an open workout last year.
It was the deadlift one or something?
No, that was the wall walk and double unders. It was a great choice. Great choice to start drinking bourbon. Great time.
I had the open. I don't know if I did the open this year.
That's one of the things I think we do really well to drive community is just encouraging everybody to do the open. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you recently, so last year they switched it up. They did 3 formats, like a foundation, scaled, master, or RX. So there was like a version that everybody could do.
Yeah. Well, the wall walks were new this year, right? With like the tape and everything and like having to hit certain length,
you had to get your hands within 10 inches of the wall.
That was tough.
Yeah.
I was like,
and you're like stretching your pinkies, you're like, oh, we're good. And it's like, all right, that was 1. How many more? 21.
Yep. Oh yeah, that was that work.
It went 3, 6, 9, 15, 21, or I think there was maybe a 12 in there. I don't remember, but
something like that. It was up by 3s.
An absolute insane amount of wall walks.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think wall walks were hard until those wall walks.
Wall walks even are, but I can't remember.
You would just walk your feet up the wall, and as you get closer, your hands get closer to the wall.
You have to walk into a hand lay into a push up.
Okay. I'm remembering what they are now.
Yeah.
Because it was what you tried to show, like a couple of us couldn't do like the handstand holds before. It's what you had us do at the start.
Yep.
Okay.
I remember one of the things I'm real good at CrossFit is wall balls.
Oh yeah.
And so I think it's 2 years ago, there was a bunch of wall balls in the open. It's like a wall ball row or something like that.
Yep.
And they were like, what's your strategy? I'm like, I'm just going to do all the wall balls. Yeah. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, just all of them. They're like, you're not going to like break it up. I'm like, no. And actually, that was the one workout that open I destroyed. Like I destroyed that workout because I ended up breaking it up. It was like 150 or something like that. Mm-hmm. I think I did 50 straight, rest 50 straight, and then like 10s. And then I was on that rower like, or no, it was one where you could break it up.
19
I think
19, like 19 calorie row, 19 wall balls.
No, it was something. I think you could break it up how you wanted.
Oh yeah, that was
like
in 20. So it was the rowing, the wall balls, and the muscle ups.
Yes.
Yeah, and you could do it however you wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I remember I was like, I'm just gonna do all the wall ball. So I did those all first, and it worked somehow. Now the rest of the open, I'm not anything with the ring muscle ups. I couldn't do them, so I was like, I'll just do all the other stuff because that's right. It was ring muscle ups with it. So what I was going for was the time, right? Because I knew I wasn't getting one.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not saving any energy for muscle up. So I did all the wall balls, did all the row, and then I tried, but I couldn't get. So I was like, I'm just going for the break time.
Yeah. We had a good number of people do that on the board. Yeah.
Yeah. The open's fun, man. Like that's when I mean, you get to test yourself, right? Yeah. You can talk a little bit about that, but it's like just from. I think even my first year, I think it was like 2 months into when I just started, I still did the open. You know, it's not for just athletes. They're like people that want it, but it's like, it is part of that community aspect too.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. I'm sure over here at Honors, they do the Friday night lights. Like everybody lines up, you get a heat time, and like people who are nervous, like working out in front of people, like might get nervous, but like once you do it and you realize like nobody cares how you do, they just care that you're doing it. Like it's such a game changer. And like we just did a kind of like an introduction on-ramp course. We had like 7 people sign up. And I was telling them like, hey, like, you know, you've been working out here. CrossFit's going to help you get here. And then once you start kind of keeping track of your scores, you're going to get here. But that next level is kind of doing the workout with somebody else being like, Caleb, let's go.
Right.
And you're like doing wall balls. And you're like, I guess I'm just going to do 50 of these unbroken. Like, I guess it's just, you know, Trevor's screaming at my face.
Right. And that's why I love the open, is because, like you're competitive in just a normal workout, like especially if you got someone like real close with you. But then like that, everybody, you're like, I'm not going to slow down now. You know, like you got people yelling at you, got a coach looking at you, like checking stuff off, like, come on, keep going. I'm like, okay, yes. Okay.
I know anytime that Tyler, I think it's Hensel was his last name.
Yep.
Anytime he was there at like the weightlifting ones, or even if we just had like any sort of a deadlifting thing, I was like, if he's there, I'll probably PR, because I'll see what he'll do. And then he'll like look at me or say something to me, and then I'll have to try and do more.
He's a mailman now.
Is he really?
Yeah, he went from like being one of the dorm supervisors over at Muskingum to a mailman.
Hey, they make some good money.
He just walks though too.
He just got married too.
Yeah, he got married.
Right?
Yeah,
okay.
Last summer.
I thought I saw he got married, because I still have him on like Instagram and stuff, but I haven't seen him since.
I mean, he moved to South Carolina and then moved back up to Pittsburgh.
Oh. So, But I remember we were doing like, I think it was 4-inch deficit deadlifts. And we were trying to find like a 1 rep max. And Tyler did like, I want to say it was like 425 or something. And at the time, that was my max, like from the floor. Or so I thought. So like I look over at him and he was like 425. And I was like, this son of a bitch. Yeah. So I think I thought I loaded on 430, and I was wrong. I loaded on 445. And
math, not strong for Trevor.
Never was. But then I pulled it and I was all happy, and like I drop it down, and I remember Scott was right next to me, and he, fist bumps me, and I was like, all right, cool. And he was like, 445, huh? I was like, is that what it was? And I was like, oh, and I look over at Tyler, I said, 445. And he was like, you motherfucker. And like, I think he loaded up like 450 or 460, and he started to pull it, and he got it off the ground. It made me scared. I was like, oh, I cannot do another. And I don't think he got it, so I was like, all right, I'm in the clear, like I'm good. Yeah. But then I'm pretty sure he pulled like 445 the next time we did it. Yeah. So, I mean, he always, like, if he was there, I was probably going to PR just because he would, like, just talk enough shit to me to get me to want to do more. Yeah, like, relating that back to what Caleb was talking about, like, that's the exact thing that happens, though. Like, it can happen in a regular gym setting, like you two work out together, but there's plenty of people who, they just go to the gym every morning at 5 a.m., hoping that they're going to have somebody to work out with, and they might not. So, at least if a CrossFit gym, like, you can develop that relationship, have that, not even with the coach, just somebody else who shows up at that time who helps push you, or like maybe you didn't show up that morning, so like at like you were supposed to be at the 9, and at 10 o'clock Caleb's texting Trevor, yo man, where you at? Right?
There's some accountability to it too. Yeah. And that's like when my sister went, like that was, we always did, like we do partner workouts together and all that stuff. So it was like, she'd message me like the night, you going tomorrow morning? I guess, like that was when I like wanted to wake up at like 11 a.m. and like get up real late, so I would get up for that stuff, and it does drive you and give you a little bit of that like accountability factor that outside of having a personal trainer, you're not going to really get if you just have a gym membership.
Yeah.
Oh, another cool thing I just remembered you guys do all the time, the CrossFit Kids.
Oh yeah, we do a kids program.
Yeah.
Our programs, I changed it at the end of last year. We had always done it just kids, right? And just it's me with a bunch of kids, and I got to a point where I just burn out. So I shut it down for, I want to say like 3 months. That was a beautiful 3 months. Now I brought it back. I was happy to bring it back. And what I did differently is it's now like parent and kid.
Oh.
So like, God forbid one day there's a little Trevor running around. But Trevor and little Trevor could do the workouts together. So it's like fundamental stuff. Like last session we did deadlifts. We had kids deadlift up to like 105, but there's also me like watching like a hawk, like, little Trevor, you're done. You're cut off. Your back looked like a snail. You are done. Now, like, and it also gives parents, like, we had a parent last session. Like, he just wanted to show off in front of his kids, so I give him a hard time now. Like, well, you won the deadlift event at CrossFit Kids. Like, deadlifted 405. Way to be the big guy. But that's what Trevor would do, too. Like, Trevor would be like, I'm going to pull 515 on real quick. Little Trevor, check this out. Boom.
He's looking around.
Who's the strongest dad here?
He's yelling at the other dads. He's yelling at, it's Steve.
Yeah.
What's your kid deadlifting?
I'd get close to my kid and be like, hey, go ahead. You could tell all the kids that I am stronger than their dads.
Yeah, we do. So we do the kids. We do, like Trevor talked about, a weightlifting program. So just Olympic lifting, this, like doing CrossFit, like you're only going to, like, all right, hey guys, tomorrow's workout is pull-ups and wall balls. And it might be 6 or 8 weeks before you see pull-ups and wall balls again.
Right.
So stuff like that, not as technical, but like the snatches and cleans and all the barbell movements that have these weird names that nobody's heard of. Like we offer a program that allows a little bit more frequency.
That's cool.
Of those.
And see, I'd prefer like barbell.
Yeah.
A little bit of the dumbbell snatch stuff, but barbells, I love doing the Olympic lifts. And so when I'll notice over here, it goes through a lot of phases. Like when we started, we did a lot of barbell, and that's like, you want to switch it up, right? And do that. But then like, I noticed like last year, there wasn't a lot of that Olympic lifting. So that's why like I've been doing more of this. But then when I do see that stuff pop up over there, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go over there and mess around a little bit. So that's kind of a cool concept there is having a program for that.
I'm just trying to plug like everything I could think of.
The only other thing that I've got over there, I do one-on-one clients using CrossFit methodology. And I guess kind of shout out who the client I'm going to go to after this is, her name's Kathy. She's had 2 TBIs, for lack of a better term. And we've been working together the last, like May. So what would that be? Like almost 8 months, 9 months. Getting to a point where like she can stand on her own now.
Oh, that's cool.
When she couldn't, when we first started working together, she can take 2 10-pound dumbbells, like carry them up overhead. Like she can sit more upright. Yeah. Like we're like things that like the rest of us are like, oh, that's no big deal. But she's been stuck in a chair and wheelchair and having to have her husband like help her with so much the last 10 years. Like these are things like our goal for her is like go to the bathroom on your own. Yeah. Like the level of like we take that so for granted. Like, oh, I gotta go pee. I'll just go to the bathroom real quick. Like imagine having like and not even being able to really like talk. Like get somebody to carry you to the bathroom. And I think that is something a lot of people don't think about. Like when you see CrossFit videos or you see advertising and stuff, you do see a lot of like you're like, oh, even people our age would be like, oh, I can't do that. They get scared of it, I think. But I mean, when I started going over here, there was another guy that came in and he couldn't do like like any sort of box jump or like even step up or anything, just kind of walked around and he lost like, I think 100-some pounds. Wow, that's awesome. And so he's doing like box jumps, like nothing now. Right. And so it's not something just for people that are in shape, right? Or people that not for athletes. It's built to again, the mobility aspect. You get all kinds of different workout training with that too. Yeah. Like I'm not going to like sit here and quote all the level 1 stuff, but the idea is like, if you're sick, we're going to get you to healthy. If we're healthy already, we're going to get you to fit. But like the goal for every gym, at least I'll speak for my gym. I don't care about sending people to the CrossFit Games.
Right.
It'd be so cool. It'd be like the cherry on top. But if, having success stories like that, like getting somebody to lose 100 pounds and couldn't step on a box, now they can jump on a box. That's a win. Like getting somebody to be able to get into a handstand. They don't need to do that for their daily life. But when you teach somebody new, when you give them something they didn't have before, that's rewarding, and people value that a little bit higher than if you're like, oh man, you lost like 3% body fat. Well, what's that like do for me? But versus if like that dude who can now step up on a box,
do stuff, right?
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, and it all does carry over into real life. I mean, all the being able to now, hey, I can reach that top cupboard now, right? That kind of stuff. It all does translate. It's not just like, oh, you can step on a box at CrossFit. It's like, no, I can like climb a ladder now. I can do X, Y, whatever it is. And that is really cool about it. I remember what I was going to ask. What do you think? Do you see a lot of high school kids doing CrossFit?
Yeah, so I've tried different programs to get like high school kids over at Contour. I don't think I've got the message in the right spot. Like,
that's what I was going to say.
It's hard to reach them, and then like I think parents, there's still, and I don't know how long we're going to fight this as like people like Trevor included, like people who are in the physical fitness industry, like lifting weights, not bad.
Right.
Really good for you, actually. Like, and I think so many parents have it in their head that, oh, if my son or daughter who's playing football or soccer is going to lift weights, they're going to destroy their knees even more. And it's the complete opposite. Like if they started squatting appropriate weights to good ranges of motion, their knees become impervious to ACLs. And like everybody can be like, well, I read this on the internet. Like, well, let's go find several other sources. I bet in 5 minutes I can pull up, a bunch of other articles from, places like Texas University that have like, all right, hey, we were wrong in the 70s. That's where that started. And now we get it. Like squatting below parallel, if you can, good. Get athletes to do that young, less knee injuries. Like I think, man, I could go off the rails on that. But
isn't there the study they were talking about where like the hardest range on like your joints in general was if I think it was above parallel. Yeah, the knee is under more torque above parallel than it is below parallel. But as far as like teens go, it's just been that message hard to reach. Kids is easy because parents are always like, oh, they got
to have them around, right?
Yeah, we got to have them around. And then the other part with our kids program is like we've got a lot of parents who they're like in between two sports. So they want something for their kid to do, so our kids program gives them that. And now that we're doing it with the parent, I also kind of, like from a business side, like I get to introduce CrossFit to this parent who may have never done it. And then they kind of get it in their head like, oh, well, if I can do it with, my son or daughter, surely I can do this on my own.
Right.
So that's been good, but with teens, it's just,
and it's such and it's the same thing, right across the street too, is the teens that do come are usually, they're volleyball players, they're athletes that are just looking for like some sort of structure outside of those seasons. But I mean, we've had people, I've seen testimonies and stuff where they're like, one of the girls that was going over here went to volleyball, then after the season went to CrossFit for the 9 months or whatever, came back, and when they started like doing their like preseason conditioning, lifting and everything, they're like, she outran everybody, she outlifted everybody, and they were like, we don't know what happened. And we're like, well, we do. We're like, we know. And they were like, so they really accredited a lot of that, strength and conditioning to the CrossFit, and you have to, because it was, and how, Kelly is. I mean, you run a lot at these open gyms with these kids, and they're just like, they went, and she doesn't get tired. She's stronger. She can jump higher.
If there's a football coach listening to this, this has like been like a coaching like dream for me. Imagine if you had 11 Matt Frasers.
Yeah, right.
Crazy.
And if you could just like, you were able to run like a high tempo offense, like they're going to like CrossFit
recovery.
athletes, you give them 30 seconds,
they're good.
They're back to normal.
Mhm.
You like, and if you had 11 of them, like taller, hopefully.
Yeah.
Like those who don't know, Matt Fraser's like 5'7", so not a good football player.
Right. Great
But
CrossFit.
if you had that type of like engine and recovery, you could make like,
Probably one of the most mentally strong people in the world too.
oh yeah, like CrossFit, like, all right guys, today's workout is burpees on the minute while you do 200 wall balls.
Right.
You do your wall balls and you're like, oh, it's all good. And then you burpees. It's like, all right, I did 5. Next thing you know, 5 wall balls, burpees. I just did them. Do another, do some more.
I remember that
like,
workout.
Burpees. What?
I had kids this year that got mad when we had them doing clean and jerks
Yeah.
because they wanted to do just like overhead press and they wanted to do like just deadlift.
Yeah.
So telling them like it's kind of the same thing of like you're just putting these two movements together. But I said like your deadlift's not going to carry over into like, especially when it was our throwers.
Mm-hmm.
So your deadlift's not going to carry over into you throwing better.
Yeah.
And they didn't understand why until like I showed them just a video of like just the feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was like Lou Xiaojian is who I was showing because I usually pull up his videos for stuff. But I showed just his feet and I said, okay, now we're going to watch, and I don't remember who the Olympic thrower was, but we watched his feet as like he's getting rid of the shot put.
Yeah.
And his feet were doing the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's going to carry over way better. You're going to learn how to use all that explosiveness.
Yeah. And I think too on that, the CrossFit side is it applies to everybody on the field. It's not just like, oh my, like certain weight programs might be better for, your lineman or better for your quarterback. Whatever. There's all those different aspects of it that you can apply to different people, but CrossFit is strength, conditioning, quickness, that agility, that helps everybody.
Yeah. I just always have thought about like, imagine if you had the engine, you could just run like, guy goes in, tells them to play, they're back on the line. Defense is like, what?
And it just wearing them down, dude.
Runs back out. Like, I mean, even if
they don't have to run out, I mean, because we had people that were calling plays from the sidelines. So like, you're going off just the signs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right then you're playing a fast level.
Yeah. And if you're recovering in that 15 to 20 seconds.
Right. Well, and that's like, I mean, Trevor's seen it even when I'm out of shape or when I'm not like in the gym every day and I'm hungover as whatever,
I hated when he would come in over to it. Irritated me so bad.
Well, just from doing CrossFit for like 2 years, I can go in there and like be in the worst shape I'm in for that like 2 months and still like run and like still be like ready to go. Like
with you.
That part does stay with you. Is the like just having lungs on you is like nice.
What's that?
You lost yours.
What, my mobility?
No, your lungs. I don't know where.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere between, if anybody sees a pair of lungs between Cambridge and Zanesville, go ahead and pick those up. Those are Trevor Stevens.
He needs those back.
He needs them back.
Dude, I
can't do more than 2 squats without breathing heavy.
During the summer, I was running a lot. Like, I was doing like 4 or 5 miles all the time. Mm-hmm. And, felt like I was good. And I go in and I do squats and stuff still. Then I'm still out of breath. And I'm like, this makes no sense. So then I was like, well, fuck the running. Like, obviously it's not helping me any.
Yeah.
So then I go back to just doing squatting. And I tried running the other day. And I think my mile time was like 8:40s or something. I was like, oh my God, I'm so out of shape. It's so bad.
Yeah.
And like, I thought about what was the fastest time I ever ran. And it was like 6:50 something. Mm-hmm. I was like, what was I doing then? And I check on the Apple Watch thing, and it was when I was at CrossFit. And I was like, God damn it.
Whew. That is fast.
6:50 something. I don't think it was 6:40s. I don't think
that's down there, man.
I don't think I eclipsed that, but it was sub 7. I remember that.
I think my fast is only like a 7:30.
You could do faster for sure.
I think I could now. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get out on the old track.
I actually used something I remembered from one of your workouts where we did deadlifting and the rogue bike. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't remember what the actual like numbers were that you had for each.
Yeah.
So I think for the deadlifting, I had him do like 5, if I remember right. And then it was like 12 calories on the bike.
Yeah.
And I said, like, your rest is basically the bike.
Oh.
And
anybody who's ever been on one of those bikes, it's a bold-faced lie.
Yeah. So And I said, like, we're going to do like an AMRAP of, I'm just going to throw a number out and say like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So he gets done with it and just,
Oh,
I
is this
mean,
Caleb?
oh yeah,
Oh, good for you.
just pouring with sweat. And I was like, how you feeling, buddy? He's like, I definitely feel it. Like, I definitely feel it. And I was like, yeah, I got that one from CrossFit. I said, I definitely remember that, like, part of that workout.
We had a member. He now goes to CrossFit Indelible in Byesville, and he's the fastest guy I've ever seen on the bike. I'm gonna shout out Nick Gobley. The dude, he gets up to like, I want to say 2,000 watts.
Yeah. Oh, that's up there.
Yeah.
That's
For those
Is that
of you,
on?
like,
Is that the assault bike?
No, the Echo bike. Yeah, it's like disgusting.
that is scoot.
That hurts.
If anybody doesn't know.
Well, so I think this week, the Rogue has the 50 cal Echo Bike Challenge.
Oh.
And like the record for that last year was like 26 seconds. I did the math. And the dude had to be wattage of like 2,700 minimum.
I'm curious now.
Yeah. So anybody listening to this who has access to an Echo bike, go get on that thing, go hard for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And see how
it's
high
hard
your
on an
wattage
assault
gets.
bike.
And then
assault bikes
don't
are
go
easy.
vomit.
You see, remember when, was it Brian Shaw on the rower?
Oh yeah,
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen
broke
video.
that.
Like 4 people standing on it.
Yeah.
Well, he pulled it one time and it like broke, so they had to grab a different one. And he was like, "All right, can someone like stand on the front?"
Yeah. And then it like, did he break the record?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Just like,
Well, I don't want to cut us off because like it's been really good, but
Yeah.
I don't want to put you, behind time.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
almost time.
I
that
get to
you said
zoom
you
back
had
over
be going
to Norwich,
Oh, yeah.
basically.
you want to outro us?
by. Like I said, this is Kendell Kane from CrossFit Contour. You guys have Instagram
you can
too.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram. You can find me on Instagram. We've got a website. If somebody gives you my phone number, you can call me. Just please tell me who you are. Don't just start texting me like I know who you are. Yeah, we do a week free. If you haven't tried CrossFit, whether it be at CrossFit Contour, CrossFit Honoris, CrossFit Indelible, go do, like, all of us offer some type of free program. Go give it a whirl. You're not going to have a bad time. You're going to have fun. You're going to be safe. Maybe you'll be one of those people who can step up on a box. Maybe you'll be, the next CrossFit Games athlete and make $300,000 for working out. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming again.
Yeah.
It's been
Appreciate you
fun.
being here, man.
It's been informative. And again, follow us to otrcast.shop. That's the first place I want you to go because you might buy some merch, but we'll see. We actually do have next week, we're going to have a new, different type of merch coming out. It's going to be an NFT.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that.
I gotta go Google that. I was listening to that yesterday. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I think our crypto listeners are going to be very interested in that. But that's all the detail I'm giving you for that now. Yeah, OTR.pod on Instagram. You're probably already there. You're probably watching this clip there. Facebook, we have a Facebook page now.
Mhm.
Not going to post much to it, but it's there. It'll get the same stuff as the Instagram page, basically. But YouTube's where you want to be. That's where you're watching this. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, whatever it is, head over to YouTube, hit subscribe. That helps us out, and you get to see us. You get to see us do dumb stuff, talk to people, all that kind of stuff. But again, thanks for coming.
Yep.
We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Cue the outro. That's my favorite part.
I don't know if that's ever